Hey guys, Magnus101 here, and it's been a while, but I've been busy with some stuff. So, sue me. Or don't, because not a lot of you watch my videos anyway. But today I'm taking a look at the Studio Series Blitzwing from the Bumblebee movie. And yeah, this Blitzwing, if you're aware and if you saw the movie, this Blitzwing is not a triple changer. Oddly enough, he's one of the Seekers in the Bumblebee movie, for some reason. But the toys did make him a triple changer in a way, because those Energon Igniters figures, they gave him both his jet mode and his tank mode. But his tank mode was just a glorified remold of Megatron. So I don't think that really counts. But looking here, you can see the jet detail is really nice. The paint is good. There's the kibble. But you're not going to display it like this, now are you? No. But yeah, here's essentially the weapon storage. Here's the alternate hand that he comes with the little spike that he uses, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen Bumblebee yet, Blitzwing is responsible for tearing out Bumblebee's vocal processor. So he uses this to rip out Bumblebee's voice box, essentially. You can even see his hand is sculpted really nice. And when you store this, I recommend just going like this. That way it doesn't mess up the silhouette of the jet. And you could either have the fin like this, or just spread them like that. And I think this jet mode was the one from concept art before the finalized jet look. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't know. And unless you line up everything right, then you won't. If you line up everything right, you probably won't have to deal with this. Articulation for this mode is the cockpit can open, but it doesn't reveal much. It's just his head in there. You can get a nice, funny little fan mode out of it. You can have him flying like this, and he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for Autobots to kill." So that's a funny little thing you could do. In the landing gear, unfortunately with Hasbro, it's molded. They're not actual wheels unless they were to make a Masterpiece Blitzwing like a Masterpiece movie Blitzwing, or any G1 version or whatever that has actual landing gear. Here's the gas I think, or missiles. I'm not familiar with jets. But his gun is stored here. It tabs in. There's a little tab right here that slots in right there. And you can just tab that in there. You can have this covering that up. Also note, if the landing gear, this was warped a bit and it was loose, so look for if this is warped or loose. I don't know what you could do. Excuse me. I don't know what you could do about the landing gear being warped, and maybe take a hairdryer to it and try to shape it back into place. And if it's loose here, you could just tighten that up with a screwdriver, because that's what I did. So let's go ahead and get into size comparisons. So for vehicle mode size comparison, here he is with Voyager Netflix Optimus. This is the only one I have transformed for vehicle mode. I have the Siege Megatron transformed for robot mode comparisons. And this will be an upcoming review also, along with the Siege and Megatron. And I do have another figure that's also going to be in the works for a review. I might shoot them back to back because, let's face it, I practically don't want to do these reviews anymore. Yeah, I'm admitting that. So, let's just move on to the transformation. Because there's plenty of stuff that I want to talk about in robot mode. Yeah, before we begin, you gotta take these off. And that's unfortunately a case of parts forming. Oh. But it's not the end of the world. Keep it shoved up your ass.
Conhece? Não, e tu? Também não. Jeito de rica, né não? Por quê? Ah, sei lá, pelo cabelo. Se for, qual o problema? Problema, né? Já viu rico namorar pobre?
And here is Blitzwing in robot mode. Now you can definitely see that Seeker aesthetic in the robot mode. Because he's not a triple changer, which a lot of people are complaining about, but hey, we love the movie anyway. And right from the beginning, there's a problem. This doesn't snap in, and these pegs ain't doing shit. You could try to plug them in as hard as you can, and it'll stay for a while, but it's like as soon as you move the arms, then that's just pathetic. Hasbro, get your shit together. But still, with all, and also, now that I mention it, some of the promotional photos, there's a lot of paint that's missing. Specifically the ones that I first saw on Instagram, where the paint on the helmet was missing, and I'm sure there was paint missing on other parts. But overall, those specific, so my tongue stops working. Those specific photos really looked like shit. There's a tutorial on YouTube saying not to thicken up those pegs on the back and to instead sand down the parts that sand down the shoulders, the mushroom pegs essentially. How about I say to that video, fuck you, do what you want with your figure, but what I'm gonna do is take some super glue and thicken up those pegs. And then sand down those mushroom pegs.
Yeah, I said it.
Is that harsh? Will that get the Karens and anti-maskers after me? I don't care. Also, Hasbro's quality control strikes back. Because, look at that. It's supposed to be like that. There's something about this peg that's just making it do that. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a quality control issue. And if you have a figure stand, you could use this as a peg hole for it. But overall, the final look for the robot mode, it's good. It's definitely movie accurate. This kibble is technically movie accurate. Like, it's minimal at best. Minimal kibble management. You can do whatever you want with these side skirts. But this kind of kibble will never go away. And same with the tail fins. Unless the tail fins are movie accurate and I haven't been paying enough attention. So, for the weapons, you have his gun. That can plug into here. There's a peg right here and another tab right here. This can plug in to his hand. And now he's got his gun. And I'm aware there's upgrade kits for this. And for the other hand, you can just pop that off and plug this one in. So now he's got his voice rippy-outy spike hand. Now, let's go ahead and get these off so we can move on to the articulation. And another thing, this can be interchangeable with this hand too. So you could put this on the other hand, but then that would look weird. That would look more appropriate because the thumb is there. But this is really meant to be used with the left hand. So let's just go ahead and put those back on. Get into the articulation. So, stupid autofocus. Focus more like focus. Alright. The head is on a ball joint. You can do a full 360. You can look up that far and look down into his chest. Unless you move the wings out of the way, the arms can do a full 360. And you would have to hold this down and this to move the arms. And I do plan to use Blitzwing in my stop motions, spoiler alert, but this is going to be a bitch to pose because of this whole QC issue. The arms move out that far. He's got a very tight bicep swivel. He's got a double bend at the elbow. And the wrists can rotate. This one doesn't have articulated hands, but this one does. And that's made for choking out the Studio Series Off-Road Bumblebee. Same thing with Cliff Jumper, and I suppose even the recent Studio Series Deluxe B127. There's a bit of, not a lot of waist rotation on the go. It's very limited because obvious reasons. Leg moves forward that far, back that far before things start getting in the way. The thigh swivel, or more like a knee swiveler, if anything. And he has nice bend at the knee and a pivot at the ankle. So overall, the articulation is really good, but it's just too bad about the quality control. Makes me not want to pose the figure. So, just moving on to robot mode size comparisons. Like I said, here's the Siege Megatron for comparison. For robot mode comparisons. Because I'm lazy and I really don't want to do these reviews anymore. forgot to mention, you could definitely store the spike hand and the gun on his back. So just a little bit of extra weapon storage for robot mode. So that's it for this review of the Studio Series Blitzwing. Overall, it's a good figure, good paint, good articulation, but quality will vary from figure to figure because of the quality control issues in the chest area, the back of the wings, how they tab into the chest, and the wings, as well as I think that's it. I think I hit off all the marks. So, if you do want this figure, be a little charitable to Hasbro and pick it up. So yeah, I think that's it. And I picked this up at Walmart. It's probably hard to find now, especially since, you know, there's scalpers on the loose. Fuck them. But it's just a bunch of idiots doing whatever they can in a worldwide China virus pandemic. Yeah, I said it. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Sub to Draconic Gamer. And I'm starting to get my Discord back up again. And if I ever look up the number, it's on my DeviantArt, but I'll write it down and put it in the description if you just want to talk. Check out my other channels, Zeta Games 101, OtakumusDragon, and Zetamation 101. And really do be sure to click the notification bell, otherwise YouTube will suddenly not notify you and unsubscribe you or some bullshit algorithm crap. Because, let's face it, the algorithm's broken. And follow me on my social medias. I have a Twitter, Facebook, DeviantArt, Newgrounds, Instagram, and Tumblr. I actually have 2 Instagrams because I tried to make a new one when I couldn't get into my old one after I got my new phone. But, so, now I have 2 of them. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. And before I forget, I don't know. Whatever. Restore the Snyderverse or whatever y'all talking about.